Coming in at number 31, it's our man, Tre'Davious White.
Tre'Davious White came to us in 2017 along with Poyer and Hyde. So all three of those guys have been together from 2017 to current. Two-time All-Pro selection, first team in 2019 and second team in 2020. Two-time Pro Bowl selection in 19 and 20. NFL All-Rookie team in 2017 and currently ranks 19th in team history with 16 picks, and it's only getting better. He got hurt at the end of last year. He's on his way back. He stills with his guys, Hyde and Poyer. We picked up a new CB2 in Elam who will help Tre'Davious Hyde. The dude is just a class act on and off the field and is one of the leaders in our secondary.
I love Trey White. He was the pick we chose when we traded with KC. KC got Mahomes, as the world knows. And a lot of people are like, oh, terrible, trade. You could have got Mahomes. Well,
that's hindsight's 2020. Hindsight's 2020.
It don't matter because it worked out beautifully, right? So we wind up getting Josh Allen, and we got one of the better corners in the NFL.
And so we ended up getting Josh Allen, Trey White, and Tremaine Edmonds from by moving back that year.
Yeah, so everything kind of worked out beautiful for us. And Trey White, once again, another player like a Fred Jackson who's just loves Buffalo, right? Loves the city. Does a lot of good things for the city. I love his hockey thing that he has, that he does.
Goalie Academy. Yeah, Trey White's Goalie Academy.
Yeah, it's like an ongoing joke, but he made it into like a thing, and just a hell of a player. Now the interception thing, he's not really like that kind of a player. Is more of a he's a stickler, right? So he sticks on you, and teams don't really throw his way a lot of the times. He's always usually going against the best receiver. But he's not like an interception guy. So I don't see, and that's why he's ranked 19th. Like, I don't see that going up. He's not going to be in like the top 5, I don't think, because that's not his game. His game's more of a stick on a defender.
He's a technician.
Yeah, 100%. A technician. He'll poke the ball away. He sticks with the receiver. He's just that dude. He makes plays.
Yeah, most of his picks actually come from when he peels off of his guys back into zones because he reads it so well. Like he's one of those guys who's going to transition from corner to safety later in his career. Because he's one of those smart technicians. Like that's why his game isn't predicated on speed, which is why I don't think the ACL injury is going to hurt him as much as it hurts other corners when they have it. Because he's all about, his area and being, perfect in his technique. So,
Mikey, do you want to feel good about yourself right now?
I am. I'll tell you, I'm excited about these topics. And as we get closer and closer to the top 10, and as we get closer to top 10s means we get closer to the season. And as we get closer to the season, we get to start talking about the Bills and how great they are.
I do got a clip of Trey White real quick, guys, for you.
Trey White. What about Trey White makes him the elite cornerback that he is?
Or the best corner in the NFL.
White got his hands on it.
That was Tre'Davious White that got his hand on that ball.
Watch White. Look at his vision. Zone coverage. He's just going to read the quarterback. Read, bait, jump it.
Oh, no. Baby.
Quarterbacks are well advised to steer clear of number 27.
Great pass breakup by Tre'Davious White.
When you're covering some of the best athletes in the world out there and you're asked to do some of the things that Tre'Davious is asked to do, you have to be really on top of your route running as a receiver. Detail matters against a player like that. You can't get sloppy or he'll make you pay.
Really good at reading receivers' body language. He knows how to jump routes. He knows how to undercut.
And Tre'Davious White, his first interception this year.
Yeah, everything you said pretty much right there, Mike.
It's just, dude is a technician. He's so smart. There. He's so smart. When he reads that, he has such a good feel for the game.
Yep. 100%.
Love the guy.
Yeah, I do want to say real quick, guys, to the chat. I know this is a little off topic because now we completed the 50 through 31. I want to say thank you to everybody that tunes in, to me and Mikey, to Mafia Sports Report, to Buffalo fan base. My channel, Mafia Sports Report, finally got monetized after a year and a half. It was a goal of mine. It was a goal of Mikey's. And I didn't think it was going to happen. Listen, guys, it's really, really tough to get monetized by YouTube. And we did it. So
thanks to you guys.
Yeah, 100%. And that's why I want to say thanks to you guys for tuning in, to guys that are fairly kind of new, year and a half, when there's a lot of other Bills content out there. And we're going to continue to get better. And we got a lot of good things coming up this season. And we hope you guys, continue to watch. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I appreciate you guys, man.
Showing some love to our viewers.
Yeah.
I mean, we're two fans who just like to talk football, and the viewers come in. Thank you, Scott. We appreciate you. You are the first to be the super chat. We do appreciate you, Scott. We actually appreciate all you guys coming in. A lot of the shows wouldn't go as long without you guys. You guys bring a piece to our content that is different than a lot of other places. I was a fan before I started doing this. I used to go watch all the content creations too, and I always had takes, and I would put them in there, and sometimes they got read, sometimes they didn't. So we try to catch as much as we can. We are run based off of you. If you guys want to talk about something, let's talk about it. At the end of the day, this show exists for people like you, who are people like me. I am a fan. I still watch all the other content creators. It's just so much fun to do.
Chewy, man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. We do. And like I said, super chat or not, we're always going to answer, reply to questions or whatever. Like that, that's not like what we were going for. Like it was, to get monetized was just, for me at least, was a step up for the channel. Like just saying, we're real. You know what I mean? We're not just, we're taking it serious and having fun with it, but it was just a goal. Like I said, it was a goal of mine, and that goal is complete. And now it's time to go on to the next chapter, which is just to get more content on here for you guys. As you guys know, I got Jason Malloy that does Buffalo Sabres. So any of you hockey fans out there, Buffalo Sabres fans, he will be going live once the season starts. He's already done a few videos, so that's good. I also got some pro wrestling. If any guys watch wrestling, WWE, AEW, I got these two guys coming on board. I'll let you guys know when that's going to happen. That's just something different.
And we have a fantasy show getting ready to start too.
We do. So our fantasy football show will be Saturdays at 1 p.m. And that's going to start. When is that going to start, Mikey? Do we have a date planned yet or no? We haven't set the date yet, right?
No, we haven't set the date yet. We haven't set the date yet.
We're actually our first show, guys, is going to be us doing a live fantasy draft. And it's going to be a league, that the Mafia Sports Report League. That'll be our first show. And I think we have a date. I just don't remember. It's like August something. So we got that. We got the AFC East Shakedown. That's still alive, guys. That's going to be awesome. I finally added a Jets guy. And he's a really nice guy. Long Beach Joe is his name. He has a YouTube channel. He will be joining the AFC East Shakedown. Also, Friday Night Lights is no longer, we're not affiliated with hashtag anymore, though we love those guys. Just a heads up, Friday Night Lights will be strictly on Mafia Sports Report, and Tailgate Talk will be on Mafia Sports Report as well, and that will be post-game shows. So any post-game Buffalo Bills show, me and Mikey will be on 15 minutes after the game is over to talk about the Buffalo Bills game, and that will be Tailgate Talk. So we have a lot going on the Mafia Sports Report. And by the way, Buffalo fan base, to go switch on to them, as you guys know or may not know, Zach Moss, his podcast is now going to be on Buffalo fan base as well. And they are doing big things, and we are along, we're on the ride with them. And they're just getting better and better. So subscribe to Buffalo fan base as well. So once again,
a lot of big things come in there. We do have a super chat and a question from Scott. Just answer me this, Batman. Trey, over or under week 3? I say under.
You think he's starting? You think he's coming in before week 3?
I think he's going to start week 1.
All right. So
It's my gut feeling. I have no insider to it. It's just my gut feeling that he'll be ready to go week 1.
okay. So initially, I was saying week 8 because he'll come in after the bye week. But and I hate to be the guy that all the reports are saying. Like, I don't believe in all that. Like, the reports mean nothing to me. I'm gonna kind of agree with you, but I'm not gonna say week 1. I'm gonna say I think he comes in week 2 or week 3, and I think and we talked about this before. I think they put him
Ease
in,
him
but
back in.
Ease him back in. Exactly. You may even see him second week in, minimal play time, and then I think by week 4 he'll be, in there the whole game. You know what I mean? Without any, time missed or whatever. But yeah, exactly, without any restrictions. So right now, yes, I'll go with that, but it's still tough. This is a major injury, and it just depends on the person's body. And we do have the best training, facility. We have the best trainers. That's why a lot of players don't get injured. That's why a lot of players come back quicker from injury. So yeah, Mikey might be right, and that's why I'm kind of leaning towards that now. I wasn't before, but we'll see. But it's still, I mean, you never know. You never know.
They won't put him out there to risk him. They won't. If he's out there week 1, it's because he's 100% and ready to go. Sean McDermott is super cautious about stuff like that.
He's picky.
He is. He's super cautious about that. He thinks about the player's long-term future, not just the first few games. He wants them, ready to go come playoff time, not week 1. So if he truly is ready by week 1, then if he's out there, then trust me, he's healthy enough to be out there. If he's not, then if they decide to wait, so be it. But ultimately, I have this gut feeling that he's gonna be ready week 1.
Okay, so Scott coming in. When we play Cleveland, will we play against Watson? Okay, so we got time, by the way, because me and Mikey kind of ended that quick on the top, and that's why I was going into. I wanted to talk a little bit more tonight. So, good question. So, I've been following this a lot, the Watson thing, because I'm I listen, and I know some people are like, oh, it's because you don't want to play against Watson, you want him suspended. No, it has not. Listen, I'd rather him play. I want to play against Watson. Sure, bring him. I want to play the best because I don't want no excuse. But I personally think he should be suspended for a season. I think he will. It's weird that it's taking so long. I will say that. It's just strange to me. There was a report this morning. There's a report this morning saying that it's taking this long because they think that the NFL and Watson's camp's still trying to come to a settlement. The arbitrator, the judge who's doing it, is hoping that the NFL and him come to a settlement so she doesn't have to levy down a decision. Ultimately, that's not going to happen. She's going to have to levy a decision, and they're going to come up with one. Yes.
Knowing that because here's the thing, he hasn't settled all the cases. He settled most of the cases, but not all the cases.
Four still open.
Yeah, there's still 4 still open. I think they could give him a 6-game suspension with the caveat of, depending on what the outcome of those other 4 are, he can get tacked on more. And so it won't be a double jeopardy type of thing.
So Chewy coming in real quick, and yeah, that is correct. Houston did. They sued Houston, and they settled right away. They didn't even, which was a smart thing to do. Which was, to be honest with you, is what Deshaun Watson should have done from the beginning, just to get it behind them, and maybe this process would have been quicker. But here's my thinking of this, and the NFL's in a tough spot, Mikey.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. So let's say, hypothetically, 6 games, right? NFL's about money, right? And they're about getting, they got a lot of sponsors. And they're trying to get women, and they've been doing that, women in football, women coaches, getting women to watch, selling women jerseys. If you do this, and they only spent them 6 games, there's going to be a lot of backlash from sponsors and from women in general. And that's a lot of money lost. So NFL is in a tough situation here. Now, they suspend him for a season. Then you're going to get the backlash of, well, he's not guilty by law, blah, blah, blah. So they're in a tough, sticky situation.
Because he hasn't even lost a court case yet. Like, he beat the indictment, so there was no criminal charges brought against him. But he hasn't even been to court on the civil charges. So it's just all, so they are in it's such a
that's when and that's why I kept telling you to settle, and why Houston settled. It's because they didn't want to do that, because when you go into these kind of cases, you have to be on stand in a way, like you're interviewed. It's kind of like if you think about O.J. Simpson case. O.J. Simpson never went on stand. However, when they did the civil case, that's when they got to interview him, and that's when you found out a lot, right? That's when a lot came out, and we were like, oh, this dude's 100% guilty, right? Like everything. We already kind of knew that, but watching that civil case, then a lot comes out, right? And I think Houston was like, you know what? We don't want to get there, right? Let's just pay. And I think Deshaun should have gotten to that point. And with the 4 remaining, if this goes to civil and they interview him, it's gonna be. Well,
they've already done some interviews with him, and he's taken some depositions. If he has to actually take the stand, that's different. But we can get into the details of it. Ultimately, the question was, do I think he's going to be there for Week 11? My gut says yes. Do I think he should be? No. I think they should give him a year and then let him finish out the rest of his 4 that are open and figure out a way to close them all and then come back. But even if he's back, is he the same guy he was when he left? It's been
right.
If he comes back in week 11, say he gets 6 or 10 games or whatever, that's almost 2 full years of not. That's 2 full years of not playing football. That takes a toll on people. For the abuse question.
Yeah. Well, even and Mikey's right. Even if he's back, he's missed a whole season last year, right? Mm-hmm. He's gonna miss almost let's say half a season now, if it is that. Mm-hmm. And you have to gel with your teammates. Like, you have to have a connection. It's not as easy as just going into the field and being the man. Like, it doesn't work that way. Like, you have to. It takes a little time. So, I don't know. I'm not afraid of he's a good quarterback, but I don't know. I haven't seen him play in a long time. We don't know how good he's going to be again. But I personally, like I said before we get off this topic, I think he should be suspended for a year. Yeah. Where there's smoke, there's fire. There's way too many cases. And but whatever. At the end of the day, that's the NFL's decision. I just think there's been players suspended for long time for less offenses, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this is a pretty big deal. And that's why I think
serious.
Yeah. Offense. And I think that's why they would lose a lot of female audience and maybe some sponsors. Mm-hmm. And the NFL, I think that's where they're having a tough time, Mikey. Because I think from what I heard, the NFL wants a year.
Yeah.
And from what I'm hearing on the other end is they're saying like 4 games, 3 games. So it's a divide there. So we'll see.
Going back to Chewy's super chat for his question who was the worst, Rice, Adrian Peterson, or Watson? They're all horrible. All horrible.
Did I miss that?
Yeah, it's the one right above his super chat. They're all horrible. I don't think you can rank them. If I had to rank them personally, anything against a child is the worst.
The Adrian
child
Peterson
than women. The Ray Rice video was horrible to watch. Watson's is all just hearsay right now, so it's hard to put him up. But anything against a kid is like a taboo for me and women. So I mean, you can rank them how you want. I don't know. They're all freaking horrible. None of them.
I'll tell you what. There's somebody that's not even on this list that I think is number 1. It's Mike Vick.
Yeah,
Michael Vick for the Dogs. I'm a huge animal person.
Yep.
And I thought he was welcome back, which he shouldn't have been. I thought that was the most horrendous thing ever. I mean, if you really dig back on that whole situation, there was hundreds of dogs that were like hung in trees, and it was just terrible, man. Like, and he knew
we took a really dark turn in this episode.
Well, that's okay. But my point is, the worst abuser. But if you're going on this list, I'm going to say Ray Rice. And Mike is right about the kid thing, but I think Ray Rice, I mean, knocking out somebody, dragging her. I mean, that's why.
On video. It was on video too.
Yeah, and you'll never. That's why Ray Rice got blacklisted.
Yeah.
Ray Rice was welcomed back a year after. No team wanted to touch him.
Yeah, suspended for a year, and then he never played again.
And he was a good running back. It wasn't like he was like
he was an all-pro running back.
That's what I mean. It wasn't like he was just a second string okay guy floating around the league. This guy was the man in Baltimore, and he got blacklisted because you can't do it. No team will ever listen. No fan base will ever accept that. They can't. That's why I was shocked when Mike Vick got accepted back in the NFL, because that was.
But Mike Vick's was a little bit different because he did his time, and he also did a lot of charity. For animal rights afterwards.
Some things you can't. Yeah, I know, but some things you can't.
Listen, I'm a dog lover too. I'm an animal lover too. I get it. People make mistakes and deserve multiple chances. The thing about Mike Vick is he actually paid his dues.
No, and I think he went to jail, right?
He did. He went to prison. So. He went to federal prison for it, and he came back. And when he got out, he had fat fines.
I mean, I'll give him. Yeah, I'll give him credit for turning his life around. I'll give him credit for that. It was just. It was still a terrible. It was this one.
It was. It's a horrendous thing.
Yeah. Now don't forget, there's also players like Ray Rice who killed somebody.
Yeah.
But that was self-defense, right? And he didn't even get suspended. He played. So,
I mean, like when you're talking about that,
there's been a lot that's happened in the NFL. Don't forget about our. Right.
Yeah. That was after. That was after. So, but anyways, we took a dark turn here. Ultimately, we appreciate everybody in the chat. You guys are wonderful. Next week, we'll be doing 30 to 11, and then we'll have our final show, which will be the top 10 show. So we have 2 weeks left. Scott, we're getting there. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. We'll get into those top 10 guys, and we'll bring some friends with us. So 2 more episodes. And then we'll be into training camp by that time and getting ready to launch our first preseason game. So we'll be closer to the season, which is awesome.
Man, about time. All right, guys. Well, we are out of here. We appreciate you guys once again, everybody, for hopping on. And Mikey, time to end the show properly.
And look at it go! He could go all the way! Touchdown! Touchdown! Touchdown!
The Bills make me wanna shout. Kick your heels up and shout. Throw your hands up and shout. Throw your head back and shout. Come on now, the Bills are making it happen now. Stand up now, come on and shout. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, 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 hey. Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo.
Bills make me want to shout.
Go Bills, man. Peace out.
Go Bills.
See you next week.